Yo, welcome back to the mini PC party. We're going to be doing a little bit of a chit chat about the Herc Comet X mini PC. And the Herc is a company I have been seeing a lot and I've been reviewing a couple of products from their, let's say, web shop. And I was really intrigued like what is going on with this. So this is like these mini PCs, you know, like these cube based devices, and they are kind of cute. However, how is it with the specs? What can we do with it? And is this going to be worth picking up? The box was kind of confusing because they were mentioning about something of multiple cores, multiple threads, and even a Radeon RX 8 graphics. But you know, I think this is something of a reuse of an older box, because if you're going to be looking closely, you can see that says over here the N100. It seems to be the grey, 512GB storage, 60GB of memory, and this is the European version. This has to do with the power supply. But let's take a close look inside and what do we find. So when it comes to the form factor of the mini PC, we're going to be finding something that is similar that I've been checking out here on the channel, because they were actually one of those companies releasing or actually having these mini versions with a tiny cool little display in it. So the power supply is something just a basic generic 65 watts in total, and over here this is a normal voltage, and I think it's 90 volts if I'm saying it correctly. So getting this thing out of the box is already a freaking challenge. I must say that they did a great job when it comes to that. So the mini PC in here on the channel, I think that's just like having a deja vu or a glitch in the YouTube matrix, because yeah, this is actually one of those same designs. So the Comet X is of course different than the previous one that we checked out. So this thing comes with the N100, and the overall format, I must say that I do like the way how this looks with this very nice metal enclosure, and at the side we're having these very cool RGB lights. So at the front we're having a headphone jack out and two USB-C ports, and then of course let's turn ourselves to the back of the device. Dual HDMI RG45 in the power supply, and going to be having 3.0 fast ports. We can just turn it on over here, having this very cute, very informative, let's say, display that shows the time, the fan speed, but also the temperature, what's going on the inside. The temperatures are slightly different if I'm going to be doing, let's say, in hardware compared with software. However, it's just plug and play, and yeah, it's going to be ready to go. Don't need to do any Windows setup, but I think they do reboot, and we can just clean the system with this piece of software, and we can just set it all up with your Microsoft account if you want to. And here, like a quick view at the side with this very nice RGB light up feature. But okay, so when it comes to the CPU, I just wanted to check the task manager for very quickly. Intel 100, 16GB of RAM, and here having like both of, let's see, this is the GPU and the storage SSD. Okay, so let's do a quick teardown, and the way how you're going to be tearing this out is slightly different of the previous kind of similar mini PCs with the AMD Ryzen I've reviewed here on the channel. I mean, the way how you need to disassemble it, like we need to remove all the screws at the back and at the top, and let's see which screwdriver do I need. And in here we're going to be finding all of the screws that we're going to be needing to remove. And the reason why, because I think you also, if I remember correctly, need to remove this part over here. You can also add the dust filter that was inside of the package. You're just going to be sliding out the mini PC like this. That's it. And this is the same configuration, only slightly different, because now the enclosure normally have like the back plate that we can remove, but this is just one big clunky of piece of metal, and that's it. So when it comes to replacing parts, oh man, this is going to be a nightmare, because we have two PCBs stacked to each other and connected by ribbon cables. I have been messing around with these things, and I can tell you it's a freaking nightmare. So we don't have any RAM upgrade, I'm guessing. I don't see anything. We do have the option to actually switch out the SSD with the one that is pre-installed. I have no idea what kind of brand it is, never heard of it. But when it comes to the RAM upgrade, I didn't see anything going on. I've been looking between the cooler, but no, so far I'm guessing there's on the other side of the PCB. So I wouldn't say replacing it's going to be even optional, because we need to remove the ribbon cables. So for the people wondering, it's like, does it actually run Doom? Yes, it actually does. So let's see how I can even boot up this bloody thing, and let's see if we can play some Doom. Yeah! So what's even interesting is that we're going to be playing some indie games. You know, these tiny computers with the N100 are absolutely awesome if you just want to build yourself like a party machine. And that is what I actually wanted to showcase over here. We're going to be running it on normal resolution, like the full HD resolution, and we're just going to be having some old school fun. Or it's not actually old school, it looks old school with some Cuphead.
A great slam and then stop. Now go!
So one of the things I found really interesting is we're going to be playing some indie games, but the overall loading times are quite fast. Also with Cuphead and some other ones, we did see that the loading times are not really annoying, that we've seen, let's say, with older, lower end, let's say AMD CPUs. So when it comes to capable of loading times and playing games, this thing is pretty cool.
Sayonara!
If you're going to be looking into gaming, you know, Minimoto Racing X is an interesting game. And the reason why is very simple. This is just such a simple game. If you're going to be pushing this to higher graphics, 1080p resolution, you can see that this mini PC really struggles. Full GPU usage and having around like 40 to 44 frames. But if you're going to be looking into gaming, like simple games can run perfectly without any problem whatsoever. So it depends also what kind of simple games you want to play. And some of them, like this particular one, it's not a very demanding one. And you can just play it on such a cool tiny N100 mini PC chipset.
Final track! Final track! Final track!
But if you just wanted to play three-dimensional games, it doesn't matter if you want to play in Dead Alive or you just want to play some latest Mortal Kombat game. The question is, like, should you even pick up an N100 or something like that? I think it's a really cool thing to have for, like, say, basing games, but even lowering the resolution to 1280x768, if I'm saying it correctly, this is still an overall unplayable situation, and this will happen with many three-dimensional games, and that's just a fact. And yes, we can go into the options. We're having like 11 frames per second in the title screen. We can go to graphics and we can just lower it to the lowest crazy resolution you can think of. Let's say go all the way to 800 by 600. Still not loaded, but I think this is something we can actually survive. Just for fun to showcase what's going on. So now we do actually have a little bit better overall frame rate. But let's check out the game and let's see how the overall gameplay is then. The N100 chip is a capable chip for just doing your, say, casual things. If you just want to do a little bit of word typing, sending an email, or just want to use it for YouTube videos. And also we can use it for gaming and emulation with some limitations. Thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, it would be great to see you in the next video.